Good morning, everyone. It is so nice to see you. When I look off in this direction, I am actually looking right at you. We are the Juneau Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. I'm the Reverend Terry Schwartz, worship minister here at the Fellowship. No matter your age, no matter your strengths, no matter your beliefs or lack of beliefs, no matter who you love or who you live with, congregational founders or first-time visitors, we welcome you here to this community. The mission of the Juneau Unitarian Universalist Fellowship is to be a spiritual home for all people who are engaged in the search for truth and meaning. Today, we celebrate this spring equinox with a unique worship service of ritual and contemplation. We are so glad you are here. Well, let us begin together in worship. Our prelude today is seeing the start of astronomical spring from space from NOAA satellites in 2023. Our opening words are from the poet Kim Garcia, Eager. Above the snow, a single maple holding forth its dying flame. Among the feats of nature, the wild greening from dry bulb, sour alchemy of rot, a rusty handprint of lichen, the eager space-seeking species springing up after fire, as though they took no lesson from destruction, but to begin again, twice as joyful. Our opening hymn is For the Earth Forever Turning by Kim Oller, and here it is performed for us, and please do sing along with the lyrics of the video, by the Kitsap UU Fellowship.
Cherish
Our chalice lighting today are the words of Adrienne Murray Brown, a spell for the spring equinox. Let us remind the world how many shades of green there are, how together we look like life itself, how tender the dirt gets in spring. Let us burst open one multitudinous bud, unfurled by that internal pressure of petal, ripe, yes, and soft. You will learn to inhale us. Let us punch up from the earth a lava bright and abundant dreams of tomorrow flowing molten and free, turning ignorance to ash. Let us act like we got some roots. Know that we are held deeply even as we dance towards the golden breast of the sun, life delectable again. Let us remind ourselves that light moves ever towards life. This is the season of our nectar. Beloveds, this is the season worth the sting. Thank you for lighting the chalice. I offer the next reflection on seasons of change by Headspace.
Hello, and welcome to the Wake Up. Today we examine time, how we mark the yearly journey our planet takes around the sun. Specifically, we'll look closely at the 72 microseasons the ancient Japanese calendar observed. Ever since our ancestors began gazing skyward or watching the wonders of the natural world around them, they saw patterns in cycles and found a way to recall them. It's a good reminder of an idea so important to mindfulness, impermanence. That is, that everything is changing in our minds, our bodies, and the world around us. How we partition a year is somewhat arbitrary. We can use the 2 equinoxes and the 2 solstices to separate it into 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. Some civilizations use lunar cycles, giving names like the Mead Moon or the Strawberry Moon to mark the start of a new 29-day period of time. In ancient China and East Asia, the yearly calendar was divided into 24 major divisions, based on observations of occurrences in the natural world during that time. And in Japan, because the seasons did not always align with those in China, the divisions were renamed. Later, each division was further split into 3, making 72 microseasons of approximately 5 days each. Sequentially, they offered a lyrical journey through a year, and importantly, one taken with much smaller steps. Each new microseason name, like Mist Starts to Linger or First Peach Blossoms, correlates with an actual happening in nature at that moment, one that we all recognize, although it may have escaped our attention in our busy lives. The traditional Japanese calendar begins with spring on February the 4th to 8th, with east wind melts the ice, followed by bush warblers start singing in the mountains. Then fish emerge from the ice. Most names offer visual prompts, a distant thunder, and frogs start singing, are distinctly auditory. And still other senses are invited to join the annual journey, with warm winds blow. Earth is damp, air is humid, and heat starts to die down. The calendar ends with a trio of microseasons. Butterburs bud, ice thickens on streams, and finally from January the 30th to February the 3rd, hens start laying eggs. Viewing time in microseasons invites us to connect with the natural world in a more sensory way, and leave for a while our calendar, packed with scheduled meetings and obligations. We are reminded to pause and watch sparrows nesting, worms surfacing, bamboo shoots sprouting, praying mantises hatching, and decomposing grass becoming fireflies. We are invited to note evening cicadas singing or thunder ceasing, and prompted to feel heat starting to die down and cold setting in. Taking this to its logical extension, the more finely we divide up our yearly cycle around the sun, the more we come to view time as a series of moments. And doing that brings us closer to viewing every moment as unique, which is the essence of mindfulness.
As we note the changes in the seasons outside of us, I invite you now to turn inwards to the seasons of your own heart, own soul. Prologue to Spring by Sylvia Plath. The winter landscape hangs in balance now, transfixed by a glare of blue from Gorgon's eye. The skaters freeze within a stone tableau. Air alters into glass and the whole sky grows brittle as a tilted china bowl. Hill and valley stiffen row on row. Each fallen leaf is trapped by a spell of steel, crimped like fern in the court's atmosphere. Repose of sculpture holds the country still. What counter-magic can undo the snare, which has stopped the season in its tracks and suspended all that might occur? Locked in crystal caskets are the lakes, yet as we wonder what can come of ice, green singing birds explore from all the rocks. In Juneau you have snow coming this week, though spring is at hand at the very same time. And in the internal seasons, perhaps we've grown brittle as a china bowl in places. Where are you trapped by a spell of steel? And what counter magic holds your freedom? We wonder what can come of ice. We're here to explore all the rocks and sing a green song. Every week when we gather, we set aside time to bring to mind our joys and our sorrows in the seasons of our lives. Our sorrow, when shared, is lessened. We need not hold our darkest days in the privacy of our own hearts. When shared in community, our burdens can be lightened. Our hearts have a reprieve. Our joys are, when multiplied, are shared like the growing light as we continue through this journey of the equinox into days of greater and greater brightness. We need not go it alone. Let us be together in silence for 3 breaths. As we call upon the 4 directions, we all call upon those directions in ourselves scattered in all places in our being, and I invite us all to be here now. This week marks the spring equinox. Light and dark stand in balance. Night and day share the sky equally, if only for one day. We have made it through the 6 darkest months of the year. No small feat for all of you so far north. And now, this week, we enter the 6 brightest months of the year. Each day, a few more minutes of light until we reach the summer solstice. Each day, micro-season by micro-season. These incremental shifts are a reminder of constant change, the impermanence of life, disconcerting and liberating by turns, perhaps depending upon which season of the soul we're in. The seasons of the earth parallel the seasons of our souls and days, always changing. Balance isn't a single point or moment. It is dynamic, constantly changing, but balanced over time. In my yoga practice, we hold various shapes that test and build our physical balance. My teachers remind us in class that when we wobble, our muscles shake, that's when we get stronger. If we're holding perfectly still, generally, we're not challenging ourselves quite enough. To hold a posture, even if it looks perfectly still, we're constantly adjusting teeny tiny muscles, making imperceptible shifts, breathing into the effort. when you stand on one foot to reach something and you're kind of wiggling around your center of gravity, we're finding our equilibrium. And so it is with our spiritual lives. There's no singular moment of perfect equilibrium. Often we subscribe to this sense that if we just tried hard enough, then we would have this perfect balance in all of our days. But rather, it's the whole of all the small now moments, the constant adjustments in how we reach out, how we hold to center. The slight shifts in weight, where we find our gravity. We build our spiritual muscles not by achieving perfect stillness, but by wobbling, shaking. My teachers encourage us to push ourselves and not worry if we'll fall on our butts. You're already very close to the ground, they say. True enough, especially if we're seated. And outside, the snow still covers the mountains, both where you are in Juneau and here in the Front Range in Colorado. And yet for you, the first signs of thaw appear along the coast. Here in my yard, just the tiniest green shoots of the iris, which are native here, are starting to poke up above the ground. And so we have this moment of balance, but it's not a moment of stillness. Take a breath. Feel the ground beneath you and know that we stand between seasons, between worlds, between what has been and what is still becoming. In the pagan traditions, calling the directions connects us to nature and ourselves. Each direction is an element of the natural world, an archetype of the sacred and part of our human nature. Let us call upon the East as we celebrate the solstice, the realm of the rising sun. East is air, breath, and mind. From east comes winds along Lune Canal, promising spring. And as our hymn did, let us invite the South. South is fire, transformation, change. We look to the South where soil grows warmer, more tender. There you can see the new green. I'm thinking of your community garden and gardeners starting to get busy. Let us welcome the West, water, of which you have an abundant environment. Water can also be our emotional landscape, ebbing and flowing. Westward lies the Pacific for you, and tides like our own ebb and flow. Let us honor the North. North is earth, stability, our grounding. The North is your home, where you root along spruce and hemlock. East, south, west, north, air, fire, water, earth. Our circle is called, is whole. In the wholeness of these elements and in the wholeness of the circle of time, I have some stories for you. I want to tell you about eggs. Not just the chicken kind, but the cosmic kind. And not just Easter eggs either, which have a long fertility symbolism in the indigenous European traditions. Across the world and across thousands of years, people who've never met each other in person or through time and shared no common language or history, all told stories about how the universe came from an egg. In South Asia, Hindus spoke of the creator god and the cosmic egg from which all beings emerged. It's a kind of egg Big Bang. And Zoroastrians in Persia said the whole world itself was an egg with the sky as its shell. The Orphic Greeks had their own version. The most ancient gods hatched from an egg made of time and necessity. What is hatching in our lives out of time and necessity? Up north in Finland, the Kalevala epic told the story of how the world hatched from an egg. The lower half became earth and the upper half into the sky. And across the vast Pacific and Samoa and Tahiti, the story said all existence began compressed in an eggshell until all the creatures of the earth worked together to push it apart, separating sky from earth. In Alaska, among the Tlingit people, the raven plays a central role in creation myths. While not from an egg, nevertheless, there is transformation and worlds being made from what seems impossible, which is what this season is about. different stories, different cultures, different epochs of human history. But they all agree on this one point. When the universe began, there was nothing at all but possibility. And we find that too, no less wondrous as the scientific creation accounts. Before you felt the chill of a Juno winter, before people carved totem poles and built longhouses, before there were people at all, before ravens soared above Gastineau Channel, before the salmon swam against Alaskan currents, before horseshoe crabs and jellyfish were with us and older than the dinosaurs, before plants reached toward the sun, before bacteria, those productive microscopic pioneers, began their invisible work, before even the earth had rocks and oceans, before there was an earth to stand on, before our solar system condensed into planets, before our sun was a sun, before exploding stars scattered themselves across the expanding universe, before their grandparent stars had even formed, before anything whatsoever at all, there was possibility. Nearly 14 billion years ago, all of the everything that would ever become anything. All the whole of the universe, every galaxy, every star, every planet, every mountain, every ocean, every creature, every one of us, including you and me, compressed into a space smaller than we can imagine, with possibility bigger than we can imagine. Cosmic egg stories, the origin stories of science, the origin stories of ancient wisdom. They're different languages, perhaps, but speaking the same truth. When it all began, it was all possibility, and possibility gave birth to everything. The spring equinox is the dawn of the wheel of the year. A balance point, however brief, in that moment between what was and what is coming, a moment of possibility that gives birth to the start of things. And at this time, when day and night stand equal, we might find the balance of rest and action, effort and ease, however brief, for a moment. I like to joke that I'm a very balanced person because I have to admit I love extremes, intensity and total release, highs and lows, and perhaps it's very balanced on the whole if you average it. Moderation and moderation. Your Juno seasons and geography are extremes of light and dark, mountain tops and sea level, all within walking distance. We have this moment of balance, but on the balance, equilibrium comes over time. The wobbles and wiggles consistently putting one foot in front of the other, one moment of now followed by the next now. Those moments becoming days, days becoming weeks, weeks becoming micro seasons and months, and the months becoming seasons and years. And that's part of why we gather weekly to worship, to mark time. There is no perfect point of spiritual balance, at least not more than for a passing moment. The spiritual path is less about perfect balance, but more a continual practice of readjustment. Wobbling and wiggling is how we get stronger. Sometimes we learn the most by falling. Remember, you're already close to the ground, and that's where the seeds sprout. When you think about it, it seems extremely unlikely that a hemlock tree is held within its seed. How might that be true for you and me, even more than a tree? The egg that gives birth to all possibility and necessity and time. And no matter how unlikely it might feel in your own way, you too, like the hemlock seed and me, will grow toward the sky, the ever-increasing light. May it be so. Let us close our circle as we opened it. Let us bid farewell to the north with thanks, the earth, the mountains of Juno. Thank you for your steadiness. Stay if you will, leave if you must. We look with gratitude to the west, to water, the Gastineau Channel. Thank you for your flowing wisdom. Stay if you will, leave if you must. We honor the south, fire, growing light. Thank you for transforming us. Stay if you will, leave if you must. And to the east, air, winds of change. Thank you for your clarity. Stay if you will, leave if you must. And to the center, our balance point. Thank you for holding us, and may we hold you in turn. Our circle is complete. North, west, south, and east. Earth, water, fire, air. The body, the emotions, action, initiative, and breath. And in so doing, may we, like our circle, be called and be whole. The cycle is complete. Stay in this pause that all of life is in right now. Breathe in and breathe out. It's the time before the beginning, the now which becomes next. We'll close together in song with hymn Rising Green, and lyrics are in the video so you can join along as you feel so moved. Let us close our worship time together, completing a circle with the words from the beginning, adapted from Adrienne Murray Brown. Let us remind ourselves that life moves ever towards life. This is the season of our nectar. Beloveds, this is the season worth the sting. Let us act like we've got some roots. Know that we are held deeply. And let us punch up from the earth, a lava bright and abundant, dreams of tomorrow, flowing molten and free, turning ignorance to ash. Let us remind the world, and ourselves, I'd add, how many shades of green there are, how together we look like life itself. Let us extinguish our chalice Our worship is over. Our service begins. Go forth, be blessed, and be a blessing. I invite you to close as your custom is each week, to rise in body or spirit, for from you I receive, to you I give.